All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Dude, that was crazy. I could not get that thing to fucking stop, dude. All right, this is the Not Me podcast around the room. Bad. Get on up here, man.
Can you hear
There
me?
it is. Yes, sir.
All right.
Right. Yeah, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. This is pretty interesting, though. This is pretty interesting. All right. We did this earlier. It was pretty spot on, my guy.
Where's Chief and Gumby? They coming?
I'm messaging Gumby right or Chief.
Okay.
Um, there's Gumby. Chief,
All right,
Gumby.
I'm in the mic check.
Mic check 1, 2. All right, Chief, you gotta get on stage, buddy.
Mic check. Mic check, dummy.
Mic check 1, 2, 1, 2.
Where you at, Chief?
You can hear me?
Yup.
All right.
I just can't hear Chief. All right, there he is. All right, guys. This is the Not Move podcast, and this is the Around the Room.
I'm here.
He made it.
Sorry.
Supposed to say around the horn.
Around the hoop.
It's around the beer right now, buddy.
Around the bar.
beer.
Chief just went full Kevin McAllister at the airport, dude. But he's here. He made it. He made the flight.
Yeah,
Made the
bro.
flight. But this is
No,
not a
you
podcast.
You caught me at an off night.
At least we caught you.
Alright. So that being said, you guys, Gumby.
Yo, how do we do this point system? Go ahead, bud.
We go box by box. We can only do 4, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. You should be able to. Are you up here, A-Train?
God, are you kidding me? I beat him?
Yeah, you did.
Holy shit! No.
You want to let A trade up? I'll drop.
No. I called him, and he's like, "Yeah, we're going up." I'm like, "All right, cool, let's go."
Well, that being said, we had some questions earlier, man. We could start, we're going to change it up this time. We're going to switch who goes first each time. We'll start off this question though, top the box, bag all the way down. I want to know who do you guys think is the bigger problem with what's going on in the Baltimore Ravens franchise this year? Lamar Jackson or John Harbaugh?
Not even any of the names you mentioned.
Starting with bag.
I mean, it's John Harbaugh, 100%. I mean, just the fact that when it came to the games and stuff being took, the fact that it had to be done by the quarterback and not the head coach, lets me know everything I need to know of who is running business in the Baltimore locker room. Simple and plain. Nothing more, nothing less.
Right. All right. Southgate. Yeah, then unmute. You got a bad echo. Same question to you. Southgate.
Yeah, I can't unmute.
Yeah, you're unmuted. Who's the bigger issue? Who's the problem? John Harbaugh or Lamar Jackson? Who is to blame? What? You need to just mute back up. There you go. Unmute Southgate. All right, Gumby, we'll go to you.
I mean, if those are my only two options based off the question, from you, JB, the host, it's like, it's clearly going to be, Harbaugh based off the fact of losing week 1 against the Bills with that fourth quarter comeback, and that adds to his overall resume of him having a kind of in a sense dumb amount of fourth quarter absolute collapses during his career as head coach. And then not only that, Lamar, with him being injured and then coming back, and not they're 3-0 since he's been back from injury, just solidifies that it's not Lamar. It's got to be coaching.
All right. You guys let out with Harbaugh. Yes, he has been a problem with the play calling. I'm going to say Lamar Jackson for the fact of not coming out sooner with his injury or letting the training staff know, because the best availability, the best, you know what I mean.
The best ability is availability.
Yeah, sorry, so I'm a little tired. But yeah, no, he should have came out sooner with the injury and got that taken care of. If so, maybe he wouldn't have been sitting out 4 games or be getting caught from behind. I understand he was trying to do a service for the team, but playing hurt is not helping the team.
All right, Chief.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I do think it's neither of those names. Regardless of Lamar Jackson's injury, I do think it's Todd Monken. I think Todd Monken is the reason that the Ravens are in the situation they're in, regardless of the actual quarterback that's at the helm. I do believe Todd Monken, honestly, he's the offensive play caller. He should honestly sit there and know how to facilitate a quarterback, regardless of who's at the helm.
Okay. All right, Southgate. I want to start with you. I want to go with the Coach of the Year award. Who's the Coach of the Year award this year? Who gets that? As of right now, going into week 10 or week 11. I'm sorry.
It would be, it's probably going to go to the Colts coach. Seattle coach is creeping up there, but I mean, I'm kind of be a homer and say if we knock the Chiefs off of the division, I really think it should go to Sean Payton for doing it with a second-year quarterback, a mid-wide receiver. I know our defense is elite, but I mean, if we can beat the Chiefs this week and win that division, I think it should go to Sean Payton.
Gumby.
All right. I mean, overall, when it comes down to that award, it's not who's the best. It's usually what it comes down to is who typically has turned their team and franchise around within a year, whether it is what they've had the year before or them coming in as a brand new head coach, or just even the weapons that they've had are, fairly brand new. And I think I'll be a homer. Fuck it. Ben Johnson 100% based off the fact that what he's done with Caleb Williams this year, turning around his game, and also the fact that we've already beat, obviously, a record from last year. We're looking really, really good in a very tough division. And, I think so far, as far as the turnaround of what I've seen, I'm going to give it to Ben Johnson.
Chief?
I have to actually agree with Gumby on this one. I got to say, it's Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears. I mean, you got to look at their record right now. We did not expect this right now. These guys are finding ways to win. Like it honestly, as much as I would like to put my coach out there because he's only gotten one since 2007, Ben Johnson is turning the Bears around for the right direction. And I got to say, I'm excited to see a Chicago Bears team move forward.
Bag?
Those are all the great choices. But for me, it has to be Mike Vrabel. Right?
Sorry.
To go have a second-year quarterback in Drake May, right, who wasn't looked upon as to be one of the prolific quarterbacks to come out of that draft, to be first in their division, to knock Buffalo out, right? They've already beat them once, right? They've beaten, I think, Miami as well. If they can maintain of what they're doing and actually win this division and be a top 4 seed in the AFC, you got to give it to Mike Vrabel. Simple and plain.
And honestly, he was my second choice.
All right. All right. That's some good stuff right there, y'all. What's up, Tisha? What's up, A Train? All right. In the NFL right now, who is on the hottest seat at the moment? Excluding obviously Brian DeBoer, but who is on the hottest seat in the NFL right now? Who needs to win? Like, who needs this? Like, it's win or go home for them. Gumby.
Hold on. I don't want to kind of tell the host what to do, but I start off the last question, so I think this one should be Chief to start off, if that's cool. Or do you want me to go?
No, you go. You go.
All right, I guess.
You started off. Oh yeah, then it'd be cheap. It'd be cheap then. Chief.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yep.
I'm gonna say this. I think the biggest coach on the hot seat right now, after the firing of Brian Daboll, it's Sean McDermott. I gotta tell you, everyone knows what Sean McDermott brings to the table. I've said this for months. I said this in the offseason. Sean McDermott is this generation of Marty Schottenheimer. He's going to have good teams. He's going to have good play calling. He's going to have great people around him. But getting it done at the end of the day, Sean McDermott can't do it. Come on. Sorry,
Bag.
I'm going to be unbiased and objective. It's John Harbaugh. Simple, like, you have the second best quarterback in the league. You've been to the AFC Championship. You've been to the divisional. You've had deep playoff runs, right? The fact that you hired a defensive coordinator that for the last 2 years, when it comes to passing defense, we've been 32nd and 30th. Like, these 2 years that you have the roster to make it, basically, it's S-Bob. And even if he does make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, like I said this in the episode last night, John Harbaugh's tenure for the Baltimore Ravens should be done. It doesn't mean just because you win another ring that you get to rest in your laurels, right? And you have your guaranteed spot to where you can just be here until you want to leave. No. He has a
But answer me
fire
this,
underneath
Vags.
his seat, and
Answer me
he
this,
is in the
Vags.
hottest
What
seat.
is that? What does that put? What's the difference between John Harbaugh and Sean McDermott right now? Because they've both been at the same situation.
I'm not saying Sean McDermott's not in the same seat. I believe the reason why I believe John is hotter than Sean is because Sean has made it back. He's made it to the AFC Championship twice.
But you know, the way that we've explained this on multiple platforms with playoffs and the way things go, just because one has made it more than the other does not sit there and depict a difference between a coach and a team, because the years the coach with the years Sean McDermott made it to the AFC title game, I felt Baltimore had a better roster, at least one of those. They were just better that day.
Right, and that was due to what? Coaching. Sean McDermott outcoached John Harbaugh.
And I think even there have been times when John Harbaugh has outcoached Sean McDermott, but it did not translate to the field.
Well, you can't say that because the two
Chief,
times.
you should really let him finish this.
Sorry.
It's not
Well,
a
no,
debate.
you really can't do that because the two times that we've seen the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs, we've lost. So both times Sean outcoached John.
Gumby, you ready, or you want me to go?
Yeah, you can go and then I'll finish it off if you want.
I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna say Raheem Morris. This Atlanta team has all the talent in the world, and they're just. I mean, one week they look great, one week they look terrible. I mean, there's no discipline on that team. I can't figure it out. They couldn't do it with Cousins, then they could do it with Penix, then they can't. I don't think they use Bijan right. He's trying new things with Pitts that ain't working. Um, I think Atlanta has a team that could win now, and they're not really winning now. They're too inconsistent for me. I think it's time for a change over there in Atlanta.
How can you say a team has the chance to win now when they haven't won their division with that roster?
I think they can win that division with their roster. I mean, they have a very good defense. You couldn't really ask for better position players. I mean, they gave Cousins the bag, and then he went with Panix, and Panix is one week looks great, one week looks bad. I mean, I feel like the team's just not disciplined enough.
Okay.
I guess so, and then I'll wrap it up with my pick, even though I liked. I mean, I'm definitely was obviously considering Harbaugh and McDermott, but I'm just gonna go off on my own here and say Kevin Stefanski with the Browns. I think he's been there for a good amount of time now. He's like the fact that he's won Coach of the Year twice, and now we're kind of seeing the fact that we're kind of getting to the point where as far as him and like the relationship he has with the team, I think he's slowly losing the locker room. And then the biggest factor is what we're seeing as well is the quarterback situation where they had Flacco. Obviously, they traded him away, and now we're dealing with this issue where it's like we're seeing the same Browns over and over again. Where I mean, Judkins is the entire offense, but they keep rolling with Dylan Gabriel. They're making him throw the ball a lot, even though like that's not what you want to ask out of a rookie coming off the bench, and that's still looking like shit. And it seems like he's making a lot of poor decisions as far as the overall offensive side of the ball for that team.
Can I debate that? Can I debate that take?
And then I'll just wrap it up here. I think he's definitely on the hot seat. Like I said, based off the time he's been there and the fact that he's won Coach of the Year twice, it just seems like now this year a lot of the decisions he is making is slowly losing his fan base and locker room.
Can I debate that take?
I think so. I mean, fuck it, dude. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
Well, it's okay. So here's my thing with Stefanski. Yes, you're right. 2-time head coach of the year. That, you got to look at the award for what it is, because you got to look at it for some coaches who have been in a certain situation and haven't gotten it in years. So here's my thought process, right? The Cleveland Browns completely fleeced the Jaguars with that trade in the draft, right? They are getting more draft picks. They're moving in the right direction. And that's why I'm going to tell you, I think they believe in Kevin Stefanski to guide that ship. I do think they're going to honestly move themselves to a position where they can honestly contend not only for a division, but honestly for at least a playoff win.
You also got to remember, we are speaking of the Cleveland Browns, and Kevin Stefanski is coaching like a coach that he knows his job is safe. Andrew Berry is drafting and making trades like he knows his job is safe, because they both do. Because the ideology of what's going on in Cleveland is we're just going to maintain, do what we've been doing, stockpile draft picks until we open up our new stadium in 2029. That is Jimmy Haslam's goal, and that is what's going to happen.
And all that makes sense. I get those two counterpoints, but I mean, end all be all right now with what he's done with what he's got, and especially with this whole quarterback controversy and just the overall offense. I think what's their defensive coordinator's name, Jim Schwartz, has pretty much been carrying the Browns, and literally the only reason why I feel like they had those 2 wins, and it's because the defensive side of the ball. And then it doesn't help, like I said before, with the quarterback situation that has never been figured out in Cleveland. Don't get me wrong, but it's getting to a point where I think like the what do you call it? The townspeople are going to be at the door, ready to take down the king of the obviously organization, which is the coach. Based off if they just keep running Dylan out there just to fucking run a piss poor offense. So I mean Stefanski's definitely on the hot seat with his time in Cleveland, and that's me.
The Doug Pound used to show up with brown paper bags on their heads. I don't think the fans knocking at the door is going to move Jimmy Haslam. All right. Yeah, like I said, he has his eyes set on opening this new arena. Kevin Stefanski job, he's coaching. The whole debacle with Shador tells me that he knows his job is safe. So I don't, and to have, I mean, Jim Schwartz is like playing great as a coordinator for the defense. That is the calling card for the Cleveland Browns. But also at the same time, the 2 games that they did win, Junkins had over 120 yards on the ground.
MVP winners. Who's you guys' MVPs this year?
Who wants to
I
start?
think that brings us
here.
full. I would say I think that brings us full circle for the question. So that goes back to Bag for this the start of this topic.
I'm not mad at Matthew Stafford. He's been consistent. Got a good record. If it's not him, I guess second best runner up would be Patty. But I would edge Stafford over Pat.
I mean, we all know that this is a quarterback award right now. At this point in time, it's JT. But if I got to put some quarterbacks on it, it's either Matthew Stafford or Patty. Like it. And just to go back on what you said, we all know Jimmy Haslam is oil rich. Jimmy Haslam treats the Cleveland Browns like it's a spring project, and he cares about it every now and again. So I if he would have gone the right way, Jimmy Haslam would have kept Baker Mayfield.
Southgate.
I love to see Jonathan Taylor win it. Mahomes has great numbers, but again, I'm going to say it again. What Sam Donald's doing over there with 17 touchdowns. I think he only has 5 interceptions. Quarterback rating around 116, 117. He's got that team cooking right now, and I mean, I think everybody expected a mid Sam Donald again. And this is 2 straight years now he's doing this, and I'm not gonna say elite, but he's showing everybody that he's definitely not the Sam Donald that was drafted. He's definitely not the Sam Donald we seen on the Jets, and or after the Jets. I moved Carolina. Um, he actually looks like a very capable NFL quarterback. Possible could win the MVP. I mean, you guys are saying Patty Mahomes. I mean, I think he's exceeding Mahomes immensely. I I really do.
I'm going to piggyback off of, I forget who said Stafford. I just think that what he's doing once again this year with his age and like the performances that he's shown so far, that I mean, it's almost like he hasn't missed a beat since he, even came from his like prime years, you could say, prime years and age when he was with like the Lions, or yeah. And so, I mean, especially coming off what he has to face this weekend with the Seahawks being no joke on defense and on offense, if he gets that divisional win and once again leads his team back into the playoffs for the second year in a row, I'm I'm definitely taking Matthew Stafford, like based off of all that. And going back to back in this league, we know is not easy whatsoever. And to do that at his age as well, I mean, come on now. And the last factor I want to put, like, I guess, in the mix is going off of, I guess, the topic where going into the season, we were hearing about he didn't participate in any training camp or any like the preseason stuff because like we were hearing back issues, yada yada yada. And I mean, I was worried at first, but like once the season started, we're looking at like I said, just the same old Matthew Stafford, just a guy that can hang in the pocket, tough as nails, and he's getting the job done. So if he gets this big, I think big statement win, the divisional win against Seahawks, and gets right back to where he was last year, that's MVP all day long for me.
I'm gonna push back on the Sam Donald. I mean, great for him that he's had good years, but 17 touchdowns to 6 interceptions is not a good touchdown to interception ratio. And yes, him and JSN have a good connection, and JSN is leading the league in receiving yards. But you can't say MVP and not elite. You cannot be not elite and be the MVP. We're talking about the MVP of the NFL, right? You have to be at least have to have an All Pro in your career at bare minimum. To say Sam Darnold, I think, is a little asinine because Matthew Stafford has 25 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. That's 11-1. That is
Yeah.
literally
I'm not debating that,
better
but
than.
I'm
I
not
mean,
debating that, but the eye
they
test
got
is
rid of
where
DK
it would.
Metcalf and just kept JSN, and they had the kid Horton, and he's doing a 10 times better job than Gino did.
And that's what
Okay,
I'm
so
saying
because he's
right
better than
there.
Geno
That's what I'm
Smith,
saying
he
right
deserves
there,
the
Bag.
the MVP.
Well, Bag,
No,
what I'm trying to
I
say
mean,
is you have to look at the eye test just a little bit. Yes, stats are the the first and foremost thing you look at, but you got to look at the eye test in the clutch situations. Yes, did the LA Rams have a great show out against the 49ers last week? Absolutely. But I got to say this, the Seahawks had a better game last week. It was 28 to nothing by what? Halftime?
mhm.
Like I think eye test is factored into the situation.
But counterpoint to that, Chief, if you're going to say like that score alone is great for the eye test of Sam Darnold, I'm pretty sure two of those touchdowns were the defensive, what do you call it, fumble
DeMarcus
recoveries,
Lawrence.
and
Yeah,
Demarcus
DeMarcus
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
So it's like that defense is literally the reason why they got such a great lead in the
But the
first half.
week before they were up to a big lead, also, correct?
Yeah.
I believe so. But I would say also on the like clutch factor and also like the eye test as well. When the Seahawks did play the Bucks, they Sam Darnold had the ball at the end of the game, and the first drive with like a minute left, he threw an interception, and that was pretty much game. So I mean, he is showing out that he can do great or do good things when I feel like the circumstances are, the weather is perfect or like, the circumstances are kind of a good fit. But the unfortunate part that we haven't seen from Sam is the comeback clutch factor that a lot of quarterbacks need to have in this fucking league.
You cannot sit there and discredit a quarterback for a comeback factor if the defense is that damn good.
I mean, if we're going to talk about a comeback factor, we might as well give Bo Nix MVP.
But I'm just saying,
I look at
we
it
were just
this way
talking about
because
your
you got to look
picks.
at it this way. You got to look at it this way. With the way, for instance, and I can say this, and I know Southgate knows it, the Denver Broncos, that offense is a diesel engine right now. And the defense is what's keeping them in games. And if you cannot have a credible defense, which is what the Seahawks have, yes, Sam Darnold can air it out, but I feel the Seattle Seahawks are a better balanced team right now.
I would agree with you, Chief. And then, but going off the conversation that and the topic that we had at the time right now is MVP, and that's what we're arguing against the Sam
Correct.
Darnold pick.
Correct. We're not asking who's the better team. We're asking
I'm just,
MVP. Who do you think should be the top candidate for MVP? This is a
but
solo
here's my
for.
question. How at this time when Josh Allen was taking his team and putting it on his back, how many picks did he have last year?
6,
Six.
7.
And where's Sam Darnold at right now?
Sam Darnold has 6.
Okay. They're at the same trajectory at this point.
No, but didn't Josh Allen finish the season last year with only 6 picks? And
Yes,
Sam Darnold's at 6 right
at
now
6.
with how
So
many
that
more games left to go?
But
6
JB's
more games.
question was right now.
Was MVP. Who does everyone have for MVP right now?
I feel like the last 2 weeks, Sam Donald just hit his groove.
Well, I'm sorry. Okay, he has 17 touchdowns. My quarterback, Lamar Jackson, has 15, and he missed 3.5 games.
But is that even? But if he missed 3.5 games, that's due to injury. We can't fault a quarterback for that.
Dude, whoa. I'm not faulting Lamar Jackson because if he did play, he would have more. What I am doing is I am comparing a quarterback that has missed 3.5 games out of 10 weeks has 2 touchdowns less than a guy who's played every single game.
Okay, but that's like saying Dak has a bunch of touchdowns because his defense isn't good. Baltimore's defense hasn't been good. Lamar has had to throw a lot more.
Okay, but the fact that he's missed 3.5 games, that like, are we understanding that?
The first game of the season, you got up 41 points.
Right, but he scored 40.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but he scored 40 before the defense gave up 42. Remember, in the fourth quarter, we were beating them 40 to 25. And regardless of whether the defense is bad, the simple fact that he's missed 3.5 games and he's only 2 touchdowns behind, that in alone of itself should tell you everything you need to know about Sam Darnold's season. Yes, for Sam Darnold standard, he's playing great. But the question was MVP. Is Sam Darnold playing MVP standard football? No, he is not.
He's playing great, but not MVP caliber, in my opinion.
And I think the actual the conversation of MVP, I mean, we all know that Lamar put up the better stats last year, but the eye test proved is why Josh Allen won it.
Vegas, you're going to sit there and tell me that you played or you watched last year and you think eye test wise that Josh Allen was better. I don't know what you were watching. I've literally watched Lamar Jackson stiff arm a guy twice, jump out of bounds, and throw a touchdown across his body. I seen him
Well,
juke the
actually,
hell
Big,
out
let
of.
me ask you one
Hold on, let
question.
me finish. Let me finish. I seen him juke the hell out of the third round overall pick, Will Anderson, in the backfield for 30 seconds, it felt like, to throw another touchdown on Christmas to Isaiah Likely. The improvisation that Lamar Jackson had to do because of how bad that offensive line was last year, and
But
it made it seem like it was good.
it's
That
not
is
that
not.
no, I agree with you, but you have to listen to the way the voters went. And just because you and I may be on the same thinking of the way or the same, the thought process of how an MVP is crowned, the voters thought a different way. And the way it was, Josh Allen took over 4 to 5 games and put his team on his back versus the way Lamar Jackson played. And you have to look at it this. Josh, if you took away Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills last season, that is a 6-win team at best.
Did
If
we
you
just?
take away Lamar Jackson away from the roster they had last year, that's still an 8 to 10 win team.
That is not true. That is not. Did you just
Yeah,
not watch what happened when Lamar Jackson was gone? They went from scoring 30 to scoring 6.5 points per game.
But the Baltimore Ravens have had, in my opinion, the best roster from roster spots 2 to 53. The best from 2 to 53. They've had the best roster for the last 2 years
That's
in the NFL.
speculation.
it's kind of I mean, Chief, it's kind of a hypothetical argument that in a
Yes,
in
it
the
may
bigger
be,
picture it goes nowhere, but on the same side for Bag, like we did get to see Lamar obviously get injured and be out, and
All
they were
right,
losing
so wait a
games,
minute.
so it was moving on. Like,
Hold on, Gumby. If you take Jordan Love this year, him and Sam Donald had the same amount of passing yards, pretty much 2,300. Sam
Right.
Donald has 17 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Jordan Love has 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Would you say that they're playing anywhere close to each other?
on the stat sheet, yes, but then
No, on
obviously,
the eye test.
well, I haven't watched all of the Sam Darnold games,
From what
and
you see,
I would I don't know. That's a difficult question so far this season. I think like going off.
anyone else on the panel?
I say yes.
What was the question?
Jordan Love compared to
Sam Darnold.
Sam Donald.
I think Sam Darnold's playing better this year, even though they'll say their stat lines are like very
I think the
similar. But
last
like,
two-
but previous year it would definitely be Jordan Love.
I think the last 2 years, Sam Darnold, last year and this year, Sam Darnold's played better than Jordan Love.
there's different layers to that cake because of the fact that obviously Sam was on the Vikings last year with that roster offensively, and then now he's with the Seahawks.
But I mean, there is.
So
but either way that he's went in, like you just said. I mean, he played that way with the Vikings, and then everybody's question was, is he going to be able to match that? And he's kind of matching that.
Yeah,
And they took away DK and gave him a lesser receiver.
Yeah, he has lesser weapons than what he did over there in Minnesota. So I mean, like I said, I mean, either way, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously he has better weapons, but even with the fucking even with JJ McCarthy and Carson Wentz, two different quarterbacks with those same weaponry, they couldn't do and cannot do what Sam Darnold did. So that's not fair. So yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold, yeah, it doesn't matter what weapons it is, man. You put two different quarterbacks. He had three different quarterbacks right there that have played with all the exact same weapons. And the one that left, the one that shipped off, had a better year.
To a certain extent, yes. You got to remember the running game for the Minnesota Vikings was a lot better last year. Aaron Jones had a hell of a year. He wasn't able to replicate that this year due to him getting older and injuries. And I think this year the Seattle's offensive line is better at pass protection.
Yeah, but I got to be honest with you, Jordan Mason looks pretty freaking good this year.
He does, but I think that might be part of the issue is that they're splitting more of the carries, and the offensive play calling might have switched that up for a reason. But I mean, it's like I said, two different sample sizes of different rosters overall, or I guess to a certain extent of what Sam had. But I mean, I mean, going off that, do you all think that Sam Darnold had a better overall offensive core and weapons to obviously use at his disposal with the Vikings, or what he's got this year? Because I think he had more obviously and better players on his offense overall with the Vikings than what he's got with the Seahawks. But I'm not saying the Seahawks aren't no slouch, but I think that with last year, what he had was every quarterback's dream to with Jay Jettas, with Jay Jettas, Addison, Hockenson, and
in Minnesota. Did anybody expect to play out of Sam Darnold given right now?
If you put any quarterback in the Minnesota situation outside of J.J. McCarthy, I honestly think it would be a better result. We all know that. Fuck, put Jameis Winston in there.
Offensive Rookie of the Year this year, gentlemen. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Chief, start us off.
No, come back to me. I got to think about it.
Actually, Southgate, start us
off. Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's so hard. So many of them got hurt. Give me a second. I want to say.
How about this? I'll go first. Give me a Buka. Yeah, I can't. You cannot sit there and say, regardless if he's gone through some injuries, Buka, he's getting it done.
Yeah.
And I will say this, not just. I'm gonna get down, let A-Train come in for me, and take my points.
Oh, what the fuck? Is this like a tag team wrestling?
I mean, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it is.
I'm playing. Go. No, it's all good. I'm playing.
I'm gonna say Junkins, Tyler Warren, and I'm very interested in the second half. Although I think he just got hurt, to see what that San Diego tight end does, Gatson. course, he kind of turns it on. I
Are we
think if Book
picking one or
can win
five?
it,
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know
Just
how
pick
healthy
one.
he's gonna
Are we
stay.
picking 1 and 5? Like, or like,
Just pick
No,
one.
I'm just saying, like, coming down the end. I mean, I don't know if Book is gonna be healthy the rest of the year.
So who's your
okay,
pick though?
I don't know if
Ibuka?
Jackson Dart is gonna come back from his injury, but that's still gonna be my pick, right? Like, I
I don't
mean,
think Jackson Dart is gonna come back from his injury. I thought he was out for the season.
I think it was a concussion.
yeah, he was only a concussion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that's right. He just had a concussion. No, you're correct. My fault.
Right. So, but my point being is, you just named 3 out of the top 5 potential rookie of the years, right? And the
So if
question
I
is,
had to
who do you
pick
think is going
one,
to be
I
rookie
would
of the
say
year? So
Duncan.
I would think that you should just pick one, right? So if you're going to say Mbuka, cool,
No, no,
right?
no. If I had to pick one, I'd say Junkins. That, like I said before, that Cleveland offense don't move without Junkins.
Okay, gotcha. My pick is Jackson Dart. Of course, it's not translating to a lot of wins. Uh, he doesn't make the correct decision every time, but he has given the New York Giants a good morale. He's playing pretty decent, and due to injuries and other positions, guys are they have to wait and get the ball, right? He's the one making decision. He has to touch the ball every play. So it's going to give him a lot more eyeballs to watch when it comes to this Rookie of the Year award offensively.
I mean, damn, I had my pick, but then I like going off that, I'm just gonna piggyback and say Jackson Dart based off the fact that him coming in and taking over as far as that quarterback. I thought that like if they were to like obviously, I mean they had that big win against Philly, and then he lost his. I mean he lost his key target as far as receiving with Malik, and then Scatterboo goes down right after. But like, I mean, if you watch some of those games, he isn't like the best and like overall with the decision making. But I mean, the games that you're like we're seeing at least over the last couple of weeks, bro, he'll either slice and dice you up with his legs, and I mean try and take care of you that way. But he definitely has some good decision making in the pocket when he has time, and those receivers are gaining separation. So it's that, and like like I said, going off what Bag was saying, the culture and just what he's doing for like the leadership standpoint as far as taking over that spot. And they traded up for him for a reason, bro. So I think that if he were to get back in and make some big wins with like that, I think the Giants having like the most difficult gauntlet of a schedule, it's going to be Jackson Dart. And yeah, I'm playing
Listen, I
copycat on
give
that.
the kid a lot of credit. I didn't expect this. I mean, I didn't think he was going to be this good this quick.
He's definitely shattered expectations. I
Yeah.
didn't I didn't want to see him on the field this year, and since he did touch the field, I understand why Ryan Dayball got fired, and Joe Shane needs to go right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
But with all the context that we have and all the information available up to date, I would say Jackson Dart.
Okay. So Bag, Gumby, Southgate.
Mm-hmm.
Southgate, you've answered this just a little bit ago earlier, but I want to hear the other two as well. Do you guys go with the situation that's going with the 49ers and hold on, let's go with the 49ers. Continue to go with the high hand or move in Brock Purdy upon him becoming healthy?
Bag, do you want to go? No, do you want me?
I'll go. Um, you put Brock Purdy in. You have to, because if you don't, then John Lynch has to justify of why you paid him that contract, right? Because if Mac Jones is good enough to keep everything going, then there's no justification to give Brock Purdy that deal, right? Because now you're hamstringing yourself to a quarterback that basically you you've seen you could pick up a couple year player throughout the league and be serviceable and still win games. Because if I'm not mistaken, aren't they first or tied for first in their division?
After that divisional loss, I think
Yeah.
they're second.
Second, okay. But yeah, who was to say, or who'd have thought that they were going to be even in contention, right, for the division after the Rams and the Seattle having their franchise pickups, and signings throughout the offseason.
I'm gonna go with the opposite. I think you ride the hot hand with the backup right now. Like Purdy, obviously you paid him the bag, then he got injured with the turf toe, and like that is a very more impactful injury to I guess a skilled player like a receiver and running back. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like one of the curses that San Francisco has had and shown everyone, especially going off last year, is that they will rush their star players back too early, just literally for them to get hurt. Right back to back at one after another. And I think right now one of the biggest underdogs, as far as performance and this season, is Mac Jones, bro. Like he was winning them games, going in. To start before last week, they were 6-3 with all those players they traded away. Then their entire defense got decimated, but they still had a record of 6-3 with Mac Jones. And then Kittle was out. Ayuk has been out. I think Pearsall was out, and Mac Jones was still finding a way to win with literally nothing as far as his overall offensive weapons to I guess use at his disposal. And I think also another reason I would say Mac is because of the fact that looking back at that Rams game this past week, yeah, they definitely got an ass whooping. But if you look at the numbers, Mac went 33 for 39, 2 tutties and one interception, bro. It's dude, he's still performing at a very top level. So it's I think you definitely ride the hot hand, ride the lightning. But going off what Bag is saying, he does make a good point because it will get dicey once I guess Purdy is healthy and you get maybe into the situation of them definitely being in the playoffs or a playoff contender. But I think right now Mac is literally not giving you any reason whatsoever just to throw Purdy in just because he's healthy. I think just try and save as much time when you are winning with this backup, which is a blessing in disguise because a lot of teams don't have that. And then literally take the time necessary to make sure Purdy is fully healthy and ready to go because they gave him the bag for a reason. That's the future of their franchise as far as the quarterback position. So don't pull. I don't know. There's been plenty of other examples. Don't rush him back just to get injured again if he's not obviously 100% ready to go. And I don't know the overall reports, but if you're winning, ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's kind of funny because I got asked this question before, and I looked into it a little bit. And when Bledsoe went down, he was in the first year of $100 million 10-year contract. And what if when he came back, they just dismissed Brady? So I think that pretty much shows you that you gotta ride the hot hand. Because if they would have threw Bledsoe back in there, there's never a Tom Brady. So
Sure,
you just don't know what you have until you have it.
sure. But now you're speaking from hindsight 2020, right? Now we know who Mac Jones is, right? They drafted him. He's been on 2 teams since then. And congratulations. He's doing what a backup quarterback is supposed to do. That's what they get paid for. When the starter gets hurt, you come in, play your best, try to win us some games. The question was, when Brock Purdy is healthy, do you make the switch, right? It's not predisposed, okay, if he's going to be healthy or not. No, if he is healthy, Brock Purdy comes in. That's what you paid him the money for, right? The question is, when he's healthy, Do you keep Mac Jones in, or do you bring in the guy that you paid all the money to? In this instance, you bring in the guy you paid all the money to. What is the point of having $53 million sit on the bench? If Mac Jones was good enough to do this, then sure, you should have just got rid of Brock Purdy and had Mac Jones be your
I'd like
quarterback.
to ask Atlanta the same question. They got a lot of money sitting on the bench over there
Where?
in Atlanta.
Oh, that's them paying.
They're paying Cousins a boatload of money.
And you want to know why? Did you just see him when he played the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah, he didn't look good.
Yeah, but that's the difference. He hasn't played good even up in 5 games. He had 1 touchdown and 9 interceptions last year.
That was, yes, after he started 6-1, correct.
Right. So they see every day in practice that he is not improving. That's why they gave the starting job to Michael Penix at the end of the year last year. Then they let the whole offseason. If Kirk Cousins was actually better than Michael Penix, they would have made this. They would have had him starting because he's making all of that money because they paid him $160 million. One thing I can tell you is that these NFL executives and owners and GMs do not want to waste money.
And or not look dumb based off the contracts that they put out there. But it happens. But Kirk Cousins wasn't obviously like we're talking about bench based off injury. It was just he, over a 3-4 game sample size, shit the bed. And they had to throw in Penix. Where right now with Purdy in the whole situation is he got injured early. They paid him the bag. That's their future. So it's like when he is fully healthy, do they go right back to it? I don't know. I mean, and if they stick with Mac Jones and they end up losing some, I guess, big games, it's going to make John Lynch look dumb. But then if they throw in Purdy right after, all that downtime and the injury, and he looks like shit, once again, it's like a lose-lose situation. But I just
But
like, I
let
just
me
like,
ask you a
I just like,
question.
I just like riding the wave.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just no, land my plane
No,
there.
no, I'm just curious. Do you think it's the coach and GM that may? I mean, obviously John Lynch didn't, give him the bag without discussing it with the owner. So, do you think it's like all three of them that make the decision on who to ride, or do you think it's solely sits with the coach or the GM or what?
It's a coaching situation.
I think it's a coaching situation that is heavily, like, obviously influenced and pressured by the GM and ownership. But it all depends on, who that coach has above them. In San Francisco, I feel like it's a lot more structured and organized, where other teams might have obviously an owner that is like way more hands on that shouldn't be, and there can be bad decisions made based off pressure and the situation alone because of that owner, going off what Bag was saying. But it all depends on obviously, who is running that show as far as the GM and who owns it. But it's every team is different for a reason, and some are run properly and with good structure, and other ones are run with feelings and fucking money and their in their main interest.
All right. So let me ask y'all: who's at the quarterback position? Who had more success in their career so far? Because if I'm not mistaken, they were drafted in the same draft: Mac Jones or Brock Purdy.
Or who? I'm sorry.
Mac Jones or Brock Purdy? Who's had more success in their career as up to date in the NFL?
I mean, you probably should say Brock Purdy, but technically Brock Purdy is in that same storyline and boat as what Brady, where it's the fact that Mr. Irrelevant, one of the last quarterbacks taken in that draft, and without whoever I forget before him getting injured, him taking over, and then now that's where we're at this point in time. Obviously that's where we see all that that success. Where back went into he was first round pick, one of the later ones into the Patriots organization that was with Belichick on kind of his way out. They're very different storylines and overall narratives, but I think that what Mac is doing in San Francisco is way more impressive than what Purdy did, kind of coming off the bench and taking over, in my opinion. But it's just
Didn't
how.
Belichick not really want Mac Jones?
Wait a minute. No, he drafted him.
Oh, he
He
did draft
drafted
him.
him. He was the GM, so that doesn't make any sense. But I want to go back to what Gumby just said. How the narrative might be a little bit different, but I'm not asking about the narrative. I'm asking about producing and production on the NFL field. It is by far Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, he was a top 5 statistical quarterback in either 22 or no 23. Like there's, it's not even close.
But
It's not even close.
I think, yeah, but obviously Purdy took over as Mr. Irrelevant and has shown when he is healthy during those first couple of years and where they went with his second year into the playoffs. Very, very impressive, especially based off of him kind of, like I said, being a way later round draft pick than especially Mac Jones coming off of team like Alabama, yada yada yada. But didn't Mac Jones even last year taking over for Trevor Lawrence have some very, very impressive numbers, even with BTJ and put up some wins with the Jaguars being like their backup taking over, and then now he's doing the same thing with San Francisco. So it's like kind of funny to see that with two different teams over the last 2 years, him being on the bench, stepping up, and showing everyone that he can get the team some dubs and put out some really very great numbers in the passing game. Very, very much impressive, like from that standpoint and like that spot of where he's been at since the start.
I mean, he had a very good rookie year. I mean, after that, nothing too crazy.
But the fact that he was Trevor Lawrence's backup tells you everything you need to know. It tells you that as being drafted at the number 15 overall in the first round to the New England Patriots, that for those stint as a starting quarterback, he was not good.
I mean, his first year, he threw for 3,800 yards.
Okay, and Brock Purdy in his sophomore year threw for 45.
Yeah, he also had a lot more weapons. He had
I
a
would
he had a
I
prime
was going to
Debo. He
use
had a
that
prime
counterpoint.
Ayuk.
I mean, I would have to look back at it, but I just
Was
feel like
CMC there that year?
yeah,
I mean, you talk about a lot more weapons Purdy had.
Well, what about last year then? Brock Purdy didn't have all the weapons last year.
No, I'm not saying that. Last year, I mean, he signed with the Jaguars. I mean, anyone who signs with the Jaguars isn't going to be a starter over Sunshine.
Right, but the thing is, but that he's a backup to Brock Purdy.
Yeah, he signed as a
but
backup. Yes, correct.
but
Yeah,
bag.
the fact that he's signing as a backup, say it, say like yes, he's signing as a backup for 2 teams. That in alone should tell you that Brock Purdy has been more successful. Brock Purdy has a contract extension. That means for multiple seasons he has played when he's been on the field plenty
Well,
good enough to get an extension.
I mean, it's the same thing that happened uh, to Sam Donald after he left the Jets. He was signing as a backup in Carolina.
Yeah, and I was just say bag. I feel like you also kind of made a point against your argument where it's like the fact that didn't we see even based off of last year with the San Francisco 49ers once like CMC and Kittle were out that Purdy was really struggling as far as performance and like passing wise and just overall offensively for that team. And
No,
then and I don't have the numbers exactly in front of me, but I remember that being a major narrative against Brock Purdy before they gave him the bag was once he didn't have like obviously all the offensive tools around him. That's where we did not see obviously the first flash of Purdy in his like first like I think 2 years, and then but that's where the counterpoint is for Mac Jones right now when he took over for the 49ers this past year, he literally had I think only CMC as far as like his number one option and Jennings, and he was still getting the job done. And then obviously that defense was not a factor, but it's like shit going into this past week they're 6-3, and what Purdy only played week 1, like so I think Mac Jones, in my opinion, going off that like counterpoint question that we got to, has shown he's done a lot more with less than Purdy has shown in that regard.
Well, no, not really, because Brock Purdy was 10th overall in statistical stats last year with all the players missing that you're speaking of. The reason why that they only won 5 to 6 games is because of how horrid their defense was. And we seen that with Joe Burrow. When you have a bad defense, it's hard for the quarterback to compensate when your defense is giving up 36 points per game, right? He finished 10th overall, right? Behind Justin Herbert and Aaron Rodgers. So even with these missing weapons, he still put up and did the best that he could. Was it good enough for them to make the playoffs? No. But him individually, with missing CMC for most of the season, Brandon Ayuk after 3 games, uh, the tight end, George Kittle was in and out the lineup. I think he missed 5 games. So, and to have Jawan Jennings and Debo Samuels as your go-to guys, and to still finish number 10 overall is just impressive to me.
And I feel like that is definitely impressive, but I would have to like look at what, like I said, since Mac took over this year, I feel like he same kind of storyline where it's just like it's been pretty much like CMC and like Jennings that he's had, and he's putting up very impressive numbers as well, especially like him being the backup that just like had to like, hey, get in there, try and win us some games, or just typically with a lot of backups in the storyline with that, you already know it's like you want at least your backup to like go 500 at the bare minimum of like the floor of your expectations. But shit, like they were 6-3, but just as horrid of a defense, and then literally it's like CMC, I think was like number 4 in passing yards, and then he's still up there with obviously the rushing yard game. So I just feel like it's a very similar kind of storyline sample to what we're talking about between Brock the year before and then what we're seeing now with Mac taking over. I like Mac all day.
I disagree because the difference is CMC is the difference, right? Last year CMC was not there for Brock Purdy. This year CMC is there for Mac Jones. The fact that he's literally what top 10 in rushing.
And then I think he's been in top like 10 as well for like the
It
receiving
has
game.
yes.
Yeah.
So he is Mac Jones' security blanket. That's the difference. Yes, you're right. The defenses aren't too far apart. Last year they were ranked 29th overall. This year they're at 23. So it's a 6 spot difference. That's not too far, but it's a decent sized gap. But the huge difference is that Mac Jones has CMC. Last year Brock Purdy did not. And he still with okay, this is the lineup he had. Ricky Pearsall, Jawan Jennings, Debo. Yeah, so those are the 3 skill position sets. And then George Kittle in and out of the lineup. Those are the weapons that he had last year to finish number 10 overall.
So, big, quick question. Purdy comes back and let's just say first 2 games he looks horrible. They lose 2 straight. What do? You write him out?
Nah, then if you want to put Mac Jones back in, obviously because he's not if he's
No, I'm just asking like what's your leash on Purdy if you start him?
no, that's just, listen. So if he comes back and he's supposed to be healthy, and he comes out and poo poos the bed, sure you can say hindsight. Well, we should have stuck with Mac Jones,
No,
but
I'm just saying if you're the coach, you're coach bad. How many games
if
do you
he's
give
healthy,
Purdy?
if he's healthy, he's healthy. I mean, that's the guy that we paid. It's like this is my whole point. If you were just gonna say, okay, Mac Jones is good enough to do this, then there was no reason to pay Brock Purdy.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you start Purdy's fine. I'm just saying how short of a leash do you have him on if you were the coach?
He doesn't have a short leash. That's the
Oh, so
thing.
you would just let him right out the season.
Yes, well, okay, because then I'm gonna ask the question yet again. What was the point of paying him?
Okay. Well, that's all I was asking. I was asking if you would pull him or not if he underperformed.
I think paying him literally was like, what do you call it? It was time obviously to figure out and cross that bridge because of the fact of like
All right,
he
so
came off the bench and then literally performed at the level that he did, and then especially in the playoffs as well. But they got to that point where they either had to pay him or move on. But it's like
actually, I have
the
one more question for both of you. Forget about the whole Mac Jones situation. Do you think Purdy was worth that money to begin with?
You can go ahead first, Gumby.
I don't think he was worth that money overall because of the fact that what like we saw like the year before where it was like the three big contracts going into the season were Tua, Love, and Trevor Lawrence, and I think that we can all agree that only one of them kind of was worth the money in like the long run, but overall that's the number that obviously I think was going to or that was the contract with his agent, like I guess had to be the overall end all be all, I guess, total for him to stay there. And if they weren't going to pay, obviously, Purdy, what was John Lynch going to do? And then I guess, is it like another situation like, the Vikings? Like, is just Kevin, or what do you call it? What's his face, the coach in San Francisco, just a quarterback whisperer? It's just a plug and play. I don't know. I think they found their guy, and that's like the number that they had to like agree on. I don't think he was worth that much, but I think that's what had to happen to fucking get the deal done. And having a quarterback is, I mean, as far as talent and the overall like security is a lot more difficult and easier said than done. So, I don't agree with like the overall total, but like, we've seen worse in the NFL plenty of times before. It just had to be done.
No, obviously it wasn't. The reason why is because we're sitting here having a conversation. Should we let Mac Jones continue and just ride the hot hand out? Because obviously he's good enough because he's winning them games since Brock Purdy has been out. So obviously they can go get a mid-level quarterback to continue to win games. And if you don't pay Brock Purdy all of this money, now you have enough money to fill positions of need, right? Like the offensive line, because uh, Mr. Williams is getting old, the left tackle. He's getting old. Uh, they're not drafting too well for the O line. Skill position guys are getting hurt, Brandon Ayuk. So the whole offense has, since CMC has gotten there, has been CMC. CMC gets hurt, they miss the playoffs. When he's there, they're making deep, continuous runs to the Super Bowl, to the NFC Championship. So no, from this perspective and hindsight, Brock Purdy was not worth that money.
Okay. JB, you got anything else?
Question. I want this to be the final question. This is me. Which offense and why would you guys pick or have or choose or say it's better or whatever, the 2000 and was it 2007 New England Patriots, or was it 2018-19 Kansas City Chiefs?
I don't have like all the stat lines in my head to like even make too much of an argument other than just like eye test and fucking the superstars for that one. I'm not gonna lie, so I might just concede that one if Bag's got a fucking good point with the receipts on that one, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess I don't know about y'all. I think a better question might be like who is the, I guess, best offense right now in the league and why, or like maybe one of the most underrated offenses in the league and why. But
Um, I think a better question is actually I want to ask you two a question
I
because
want
I'm
I want to
wondering
answer
this
that.
all year,
Well, hold
and
on, I
I
want
think
to
they
answer.
played a very weak schedule. Are the
Hold on.
Patriots that team?
Which one?
This year's Patriots. I think they played a very weak schedule so far.
Oh, I'm sure. But I was trying to answer the
Oh,
offense.
okay.
I mean, I
No,
would have.
but Gumby
I,
said he didn't have much on it, so
I'd have to say the 2018 Chiefs. The the potent offense and how quick they could score and how well they were putting up 40 points a game. And I understand they had to because the defense wasn't that good. The amount of touchdowns to interception ratio that Pat Mahomes gave up that year, I think 50. Yeah, that was the 50-year touchdown, right?
I think so. Yeah.
5,200 yards. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he had 10 interceptions. Yeah, and even though they went to the Super Bowl and had a undefeated record, to me, I'm just gonna say Kansas City by far.
I would just have to agree on that one overall because I just feel like what it was Patrick Mahomes like he went lights out that year and it was unstoppable obviously with that type of offense overall based off like what their defense was putting up as well to help them out and like what it was Tyreek Hill that was a cheat code alongside obviously Travis Kelce as well and there's a lot of like from what I recall a lot more like way higher scoring games compared to that Patriots offense even though the Patriots went undefeated but I just feel like that Chiefs offense literally was just a point factory, no matter who they were playing, and they kind of had to. But I mean, it was the um, first time we got to see the what do you call it the perfect storm of Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and obviously Tyreek Hill and fucking Travis Kelce all together.
I mean, me personally, even though they scored 4 points less per game, I prefer that 2010 Patriots offense with Gronk and Gonzalez. I think it was a difference between 36 and like 33 points a game.
Who was the running back that year? Was it
For the Patriots,
yeah? Was it LeGarrette Blunt or Sony Michelle or
maybe Kevin
2007.
Falk, maybe on third down too.
I think that was Corey Dillon's last year, maybe.
I mean that. I mean Gronk was so unstoppable that year, and Gonzalez was cooking them too. And I'm gonna give an honorable mention because I'm a homer to the Omaha offense, even though we lost in the Super Bowl.
And I guess that's the other thing too. Southgate going off that question, like both were very high powered offenses. Don't get me wrong, but like I can barely remember. Like we're just talking about who the running backs were for those two different teams. Who was the running back um, for the Chiefs that year? Was it
2018,
Was that Kareem Hunt?
Kareem Hunt and
Clyde or was he not there yet?
No,
no,
Clyde came
he
after
wasn't
Kareem
there
got
yet.
in trouble.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
Clyde came like 22 or 23, I think.
who was that?
Hold on.
and then the wait. Obviously, we all know Cheetah was on the Chiefs team, but like who else was the other receiver? Was it Sammy Watkins or
Sammy
fucking?
Watkins, yes.
Okay, and then on the flip side, like for the Patriots, who was
Oh, it was Kareem Hunt and the kid Williams.
Damian
What's his name?
Williams
Damian Williams.
and you had Damian Williams
Damian
yeah,
Williams.
the Williams guys. You had Damian and what's his face? I can't remember his name, but you had both Williams. There's like number 21 and 26 or something like that. 20, something like that. Kareem Hunt was gone. He left the year before, unfortunately. But when they went on their Super Bowl run that year, 19 or whatever, yeah, it was the Williams. Miami. Damian Williams came from Miami, and the other one I can't remember.
Kevin Falk was the running back for the Patriots in
damn.
2007.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with Kansas City just as far as their overall. I feel like they had a more well-rounded total of like players from each different position, and I feel like they maximized that a lot more than where the Patriots were very talented. Don't get me wrong, but they kind of like stuck with their their two workhorses, or their like yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
But
Well, I think that's that. This has been this has been epic, but man,
no, shit was fun as fuck, bro.
give it to the man.
Hey,
Hey, that's one hell of a profile photo,
I
dude. I
got
love
the
that.
dubs. Yeah, Omar coming, Lamar coming.
Hey, bro,
Okay.
that was a great time, bro. Don't get me wrong, and I love the fucking end all be all
Yeah,
score. The questions were definitely awesome.
and then
I
y'all
loved it.
lucked out. Y'all did your thing,
Hey, bro,
man.
we gotta do this.
This was
Yeah,
a high
yeah. I
tournament.
mean, JB, like I said before, dude, we gotta get this on the regs. It's a fucking great platform, great format.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely want to do this on the reg for sure.
and because are you doing this on your computer?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Are you on this on your computer?
You can, yeah.
I
I'm
think
on my phone right now.
I think what you should do is you should do it on your computer, and
Mhm.
then uh live stream it, or you know what I mean, TikTok it
I am. I am.
on live,
Hmm.
and then that way, like, we can get people from TikTok to cross over, right?
That's what I
If
was
they
saying
wanna,
before. Yeah, bring them on over, dude.
yeah, if they wanna, participate in the around the room in the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it probably. I'm probably gonna do a TikTok studio like that.
Okay.
I've been doing it. I've been doing it. I've been like mirroring it. Um, and just broadcasting this. But this is the
Let A Train up.
And JB, real quick, do I have to like have a computer to be the host of the show? Because I would love to be.
no. You can do it on your.
You can do it on
No,
your phone.
anybody. So that's the cool thing, right? So anyone can be the host. So like Gumby, like next time you could be the host and give away the points. But I watched this whole entire time, right? I watched actually on YouTube of all things too. I went to YouTube and watched you guys, or I'm not on YouTube. I went to TikTok and watched you guys. So one thing I think that would improve this though, and we can make it really fun, is we get a list of questions, right?
Yeah,
Whoever's hosting the show gets the list of questions, and then each box gets 2 minutes on one topic. So Bag would go for 2 minutes, then automatically would go to Gumby for 2 minutes, then Southgate for 2 minutes, and then whoever for 2 minutes, right? With the four boxes. That way, that I did, it was fire, like super awesome, and it was nice that you guys could go in depth. But it would definitely make it more interesting if you hit like 10 to 15 different topics compared to
a
like
and a
five.
and Adrian. That's why I was asking to see if I could host because like I would love like me. I've hosted
Well, and
trivia.
you like
I
your
get like
questions,
I
yeah.
love I love NFL trivia and like good
Like
debates,
even at
good discussions.
trivia,
So I'm
yeah.
definitely gonna fucking come up with some good topics and or like trivia questions or whatnot because I would love to host that shit. Because I saw you in the comments being like, we need some new questions, we need some more shit, and like we were kind of like freestyling at the end there. But like
Yeah.
I would definitely love to host and then have it like really like going off what you're saying, we just need a little bit more. We need a little bit.
Because I don't know if you guys remember the actual show. So the actual show, there would be like, but they would do like fucking all the topics. They do like
Yeah,
NBA. They
yeah.
yeah, and it would be all current shit, right? So like they would be like, all right, you get 2 minutes to discuss this current topic, right? the Brock Purdy one, we'll get for example, right? We used it twice. We kind of overplayed it, but boom. What do you think, Mac Jones or Brock Purdy? When you have to cram it into a 2-minute fucking response, you have to like hit your points and be quick about it, right? And then you kind of have to speed up at the end. That's what made it really cool on the original show, right? And then like whoever's judge, like fucking hammer away at the fucking, at the points, right? Don't just be like, dude, like fucking be like, do.
Well,
That's how
especially if it's a new point and or if someone's going off like let's say on let's say a reach or a tangent on like a deep take compared to like going off what we were talking about like let's say about the MVP race or whatever or coach of the year. It's like obviously you can take the obvious ones, but if someone goes and tries to shoot that 3-pointer from half court and like nails it or has like a really good fucking take, it's like
you get a lot of points. Yeah.
Oh, what happened was I didn't like is when Bag was giving his take, Chief can't start debating him.
Yeah, well, and that was the thing. That's why the show worked so good. The original show worked so good.
Yeah,
because
we didn't debate each other.
Because you would work off of each other. So Bag would get 2 minutes to discuss something, and then in your 2 minutes, you could rebuttal his shit real quick, or you could, side with it, or you could do your own thing. So it was like a freestyle, but you had to do it like quick. And that was the only thing. Like it was good. Don't get me wrong.
That's why I told him.
I didn't like that about Chief.
Big. That's why I told Chief, let him finish his point.
Yeah, I mean, basically what we're talking about is like this is a trial run, but we just need more structure, and then, organization, and more good, like host, better topics. That's it.
Yeah, and
we did it quick.
Yeah,
but and also you got to stick to the question.
Yeah,
right?
that's the other problem. Bag's right. Yeah, Bag's right.
Because
we're talking MVP talk. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because like you a couple times,
Oh, I took points from him too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because if we're asking, okay, who do you think is the top candidate for MVP? You can't name 3 people, right? Or the offensive rookie of the year. You name 3 of the top 5.
No, I was just running them through my head.
And then how it would work. So, like, if you have a whole list of questions, right, you would do round 1. And round 1, all 4 boxes would be in, right? And then you ask the questions, and whoever had the lowest amount of questions in, let's say, like a 10-minute period, a 15-minute period, that person's off the box. Then it's 3 people, and then you do a whole another round of questions. Then you drop another one, and then it's just head-to-head. And then it would just make it better. It would be like the actual show because I used to watch that show all the time.
That's what I thought we were doing because, it
was going good till Chief started debating it.
And plus, he just left.
Well, and Chief is all drunk, so tonight probably wasn't the best idea to have Chief up on here.
No doubt.
Yeah, it was a trial run. We just tried it out. It was just it was funny because we were talking about MVP candidates, and he's like back on like Stefanski. I'm like, what? Wait, bro, you went back. Yeah, like bro, you were like.
See, because like the first round we did, it was like, okay, here's the topic. Each box goes. You get your points. Boom, automatically onto the next topic. That was the only difference with how you guys did it compared to how we did it in the first round. Is you guys had a topic and you guys would go on that topic for like 10 minutes. When we did it for like tops like maybe like 4 minutes.
Exactly, and that's why this was like a good old soft open trial run.
Yeah.
We'll clean it up.
Like, because we can make it super fire. Like, if you have a good list of current questions, like, dude, that shit would be so fire. It would be just like Around the Horn.
I think we should hit other sports also.
But you guys, look at you guys had almost 50 points, and you guys were going on to topics for like 12 minutes. Like, it was just a little drawn out, in my opinion, in this round. But it was still fire.
Well, no, I mean, and I got that. Like I said, it was a trial run, and like we.
But Chief kind of did fuck it all up.
And JB, or Adrian, you were saying in the comments, like we're kind of recycling the questions from y'all's last like debate overall. So once we get the structure, once we get the shot clock, the order, and the questions right, it's going to be very, very fire.
Gumby, that's the whole thing. I was getting hit with the same questions that I got the first time.
Yeah.
And then that really fucks you up, Southgate, because you literally already heard 4 takes on the same question.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I said, all we need to do is more structure, more organization, and like quicker timelines, and like a little bit more open-ended questions. That's it.
Hold on. Remember how Around the Horn went off all the topics of that week?
Yeah, exactly.
They went
Yeah.
from baseball to football to
NFL
right,
trades to
whether it was
Yeah.
Taylor
contracts.
Swift affecting
See,
sports
see,
or
I
Yeah.
haven't watched that show in such a
Like,
long
and you
time,
could
dude.
mix in, like, you could mix in. That's why I almost want to go back and watch it because, like, you could mix in like the most random shit too, like
Yeah.
opinion on Super Bowl halftime performance. Like, they would throw in like the craziest shit too. You
They
know?
would
listen,
too.
yeah,
They would
Around the
too.
Horn wasn't
Yeah.
on every day.
Yeah.
It was a once a week show that did all the sports topics from that week.
Yeah.
And then they would go down, they would have like a minute and 30 seconds to give their take and then move on to the next question.
Yeah, that's why I said if you shorten the time, you can hit on 15 to 20 topics
Yeah.
easily. You know what I mean? But you guys were on the whim, threw together. We have to trial run it anyways, right? So obviously you're not gonna know and be able to improve on it, but trial run it. But like Gumby, like when we go to your lives and you do trivia and like certain shit, it's kind of like this format, you know?
Of course. And like I said, all it needs is a good host and like everyone to have like we just need structure, timing, and great questions and topics.
I
Like
think what we should do is
but good wait, real quick. Good questions and topics ready to go. Can't
Yeah.
freestyle it. We gotta have them
no, no.
like for the
We got
host,
how many
they need to
members
have that
not
list.
moved?
21.
Okay.
Do what?
So if you put
Do
four
what?
guys up here at a time and you get at least 10 in the chat, let them put the fire in the ice.
Yeah. I mean, I thought about it too. I'm like, maybe I
So
should
you
just
could
start
have the
spouting
10
off
people
questions,
down in
but
the chat voting.
Yep.
all right.
So if 6 of the people like Gumby's take, they hit him with the fire.
I'll
Yeah.
be right back.
Yeah, like I said, there's just certain ways we could improve this, and if you made it just like the show, that shit would be super fucking fire. And the leg up is we've already been
I
there.
mean, if you've seen when we did it the first time, Train, Mitch was commenting, I love the show.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. This second run around, it just got a little drawn out, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
Chief didn't understand like the format. He's over here trying to debate fucking Bag when there should be no rebuttal. It's just that's a debate. This is just rapid fire. Here, answer this question real quick. Move to the next guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's everybody's own take on the question without getting into an argument.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like on the show they like and then the judge, right? The judge would be he would be the end all be all. So he would score the points and then he would be like, "Nah." He's like, at the end of the fucking round, he would be like, "Didn't agree with that. You kind of fucking
And then
dropped
if
the ball
somebody
on
said
that."
something stupid,